What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a little follow-up on my purchase of the Cambridge masks. So I did an initial reaction video. Now this is about 3 to 4 weeks after opening them up and using them all around for a few weeks. So this is going to be primarily regarding the Pro, which is kind of their feature, their main mask. They recently came out with, they came out with a basic mask, which is cheaper, and I'll talk about it a little bit. It doesn't have the carbon filter. So let's get right in. One of my initial, quite frankly, I'm a little bit disappointed in a few aspects of the mask. Initially, I was quite, quite happy with after opening up. The feel and everything, it felt pretty good. The fit I was not too happy about, but that's, it could be just my face type, a little long, narrow. I got the medium. Here's the green one. I got many actually in this box, but this one is the green medium Pro, and it was a little bit small lengthwise, but fit pretty well widthwise. But I got a large as well, and the large was a little too big. I'm not sure if it got the best seal or whatnot. Anyways, that is likely just my problem because my face type. I imagine most people wouldn't have too many problems with the fit. But here are a couple issues with this Pro mask that I found out after use for a little while, not even long. The first thing is it has a carbon filter, which is the downside of it is, so carbon filters are great for removing certain gases from the air. It's activated, so it's a very good absorber of a bunch of chemicals and gases in the air. So actually commonly you'll see these carbon filters in air purifiers. So there'll be a HEPA purifier for the particles in the air, and then a carbon filter, which I have one right here. You can see this carbon filter. This will suck up a lot of the gases in the air. There's a lot of research on this, and it works well until, of course, it gets saturated. So it gets saturated pretty easily. And once it gets saturated, there's no more carbon to suck up molecules. So you could actually see there's a bunch of pebbles, small pebbles in here. That's it's charcoal pretty much, and that's what soaks it up. So they are using this technology, or kind of using the fact that this technology works to put in their masks. The problem is, so my father is a PhD chemist, and so I'm not too familiar with this stuff myself, but I asked my dad, is this, I know it works in like filters and stuff, air purifiers, like something thick like this with a bunch of them, but would it work in a mask? And because I saw there was no research done for it, like this super thin layer, you can't even see it. There's barely anything in there in this mask. And there's no research online, and Cambridge hasn't published research on it working. And my dad is like, it's 100% a gimmick. He read their website that says there are fibers and stuff, and he was saying actually that's not a good use. You shouldn't be using fibers for the activated carbon. It's over my head, but essentially I trust what he said. He said it's 100% a gimmick, and so I was not happy about that. But it's not a big deal. I didn't get it for the carbon filter. The thing that's annoying with it is that even after not even using it, it sucks up some of the smells. So the first day using it, now it smells terrible. It smells like this pungent, disgusting smell. It was either from just laying out in my home, or it was in the sun for a little bit, but I think it was laying out in the home. It did suck up some odors, but it's probably already filled because it's such a thin layer. There's no research that they haven't produced research showing that how long it lasts, or there's no point if they're not going to actually test it out and publish research on it. They're just doing it as a gimmick because another use, it does work well. So they're playing off of this thing. Where it does work, they're just putting a little bit in there and acting like it works in here. So yeah, that's why I'm not too happy. It just smells bad, and I used it once, and it might be, I don't even know if it's healthy to be breathing this stuff right next to my face. Probably fine, but I don't know what I'm breathing in with these smells here. I don't have that problem with the basic mask because that does not have the carbon filter. So the other thing is when you are wearing it, of course, these are reusable, which probably aren't ideal for masks because you can't wash masks. They say you can wash them, but there's clear research showing that if you wash the mask, it'll reduce the effectiveness a ton. And they tell people you could wash your mask because people want to wash their masks. If they can't wash the mask, they're probably not going to buy them. And the regular person doesn't understand, can't do the test to see after they wash them that the efficacy is lowered by a ton because they don't have those tools and stuff. So people wash them, they're happy, they wear them. They don't know they're way less protected now. So that's the little scammy part that I'm not too happy about. But that they tell you can wash your mask because there's clear research online. You could search. People have done these tests, washing them, even light washes, and it goes down very significantly, the effectiveness filtration of the mask. And so that's the thing. You wear these and you're going to get them a little dirty, and you're going to want to clean them because who wants to use just like your clothes, right? You're not going to wear the same underwear, and it's on your face. It's even worse. You're not going to wear the same underwear on your face, nonetheless, for what it's supposed to last 300 hours. No, thank you, right? It's probably not sanitary and whatnot. So the reason I got these were because I think they look cooler than the 3M N95 masks, which are no gimmicks at all, just straightforward, works, and it's what most healthcare professionals use. I just wanted to look a little cooler and whatnot. But just thinking about it, it's probably not the best to reuse a mask for too long. But if you do let them sit out, most germs and stuff will die within, a certain period of time. So you'll probably be fine safety-wise. It's just, do you want to be wearing that underwear for 3 weeks in a row? I'm not really sure. They're still fine to wear for me right now. But I'm just thinking, I got a little dirt on mine. You could see, you could see a little bit right there. And I'm like, I don't want to wash it because I know it's going to reduce. And it's like, what do? It's a little awkward situation. The last thing I want to say about them is the customer service has not been great. So I reached out to them saying, I enjoy your basic mask is doing what I, expected it to be. But the Pro mask I'm not too happy about. And they said, oh, well, if you spend the money, so I have 2 unopened ones here in these boxes here. And they're like, if you spend the money to ship them back to us, we will replace your 2 Pros with 3 basic masks, which doesn't make any sense because 2 Pros equals actually over 4 basic masks in price. So they're being very cheap. They're like, you could send us your 2 Pro masks, but we'll only replace it with 3 basic masks, because basic masks are less than half the price. The customer service has just been very awful. And so with all this stuff, I'm gonna look for another probably competitor, or maybe something in between that's like cheaper. These are quite expensive, especially if you don't get them on sale. Something maybe like a disposable ones that are maybe look a little nicer, and because I hate the 3M ones that they just say like N95 all over it, and I don't know, I just don't think they're not the most comfortable, and you could find some comfortable ones though, I should say, but they just don't look, they look terrible to me. Like in everyday life, I don't want to wear those. These ones I don't mind the look, so that's kind of why I went through with it to purchase these. So I might check out other brands, but they really aren't. They probably have similar problems, but especially I don't want this carbon filter. They're lying to you. It's totally a gimmick. It's not really going to do much, and if they're not going to share data showing that it works, then it's clearly a gimmick. And there has been no research. You could look online, Google Scholar. There's really no published research on using this in masks, and which there possibly is a negative effect. There's not only no research on if it works to remove stuff in the mask, like how effective and how long that lasts, but there's also no research on the health effects. You're using this for your health, to protect your health. So potentially this carbon layer is the last layer right here. Does that have any negative effects on you? And at some point, are you going to start breathing in that carbon in here? And so my dad said it's definitely possible to breathe in this carbon. He's not a doctor, so he doesn't know. It's probably, the carbon maybe is fine. You don't want to breathe anything in, right? But at least some of the dangerous chemicals, if it does trap them, maybe you'll end up breathing those in anyways. So yeah, that's about it. The company I'm not too happy about. Have a lot of gimmicks, bad customer service. The mask, the basic is decent. As long as they say it's N95 level. I trust them, I guess. They have done through the certifications. The Pro Mask, definitely a no-go for multiple reasons. Also, the fit on the Pro Mask is not nearly as good. It's not as flexible around the nose. It's it's quite uncomfortable compared to the basic mask. And the customer service is terrible. If you do have, since you order online, if you do have a sizing issue, which is very likely because it's hard to measure your size to find the right one, they will make you pay for the shipping. They will be, not the best customer service, probably the worst customer service I've had in a while, which is not ideal with the product that you might have to deal with customer service like myself. So yeah, just not a very honest company with their marketing either. So that's about it. So I use these masks mostly for pollution. I will use these masks when I go back to Asia. But some people use them for other uses. Of course, COVID is the biggest use, but I typically, for COVID, I will use surgical masks, because if you look online, research shows actually surgical masks and N95 masks have similar protectiveness levels. They've done have a lot of studies with groups of people wearing N95s versus surgical masks and looking at the infection rates and stuff. And it seems surprisingly, because most people thought, including me, that N95s were much better in the beginning of the pandemic. But after further research shows that they're pretty similar. So if you're just looking for a mask for COVID, just wear a surgical mask, I think. And in my opinion, they're more comfortable. You could easily wear a new one every day, so you don't have to worry about washing it or whatnot. And they just provide just much effectiveness. So COVID masks, don't go. If you're looking for a COVID mask, don't buy these, in my opinion. Buy a surgical mask. That is about it. And if you have any questions, you can leave a comment in the comment section. Please give this video a like, and we'll talk to you later.